Welcome, everyone. Some more interesting internationally distributed foods distributed through the many different grocery stores around the world. This is produced by a grocery chain or a company in Germany, but you're talking about Lidl, Aldi, and so many other stores, Riva, etc. These are international chains with actually tens of thousands. You put them all together, you're talking about hundreds of thousands of food stores ran around the world. I don't think people are aware of the actual number of food stores that actually are German-based. Now, here's an interesting prepared. You can get these in all these stores in Europe, so if you ever want a cheapo snack or something that you want to grab by going into a actual store, well, almost all of them have that. Again, the foods are almost identical. They change the packaging and the label. This is Chef Select American style. This is a cheeseburger. They have regular burgers. This is Rinder, otherwise known as beef. They also have pork and they have chicken. And they come in a double pack like this for €2 or $2.50. The price is certainly right. We can open these up here and we can look at them. Let me see if we can get this pack open here. These are always a wee bit tricky. I think I'm just going to use a knife here so we can take a look at this. And again, it's like everything. One of the problems I've found in Europe is that getting this kind of prepared food that tastes good is very difficult. There seems to be a problem with this kind of food and with hamburgers in general, and I'm not sure why that is. I rarely eat these anymore. I mean, they are quick, easy snacks. You pop them in the microwave. They look like this. I can get this down here. Forgot to get a plate, but I'm going to heat this up and give it a little taste test in a minute as well. But this is what they look like. And you do get a package of ketchup with it. The buns are your typical buns. One good thing is that they are not soggy. This is something that everybody complains about with microwave stuff. These are not soggy. Even when you heat them up, they're not overly soggy. You get actually this kind of white cheese. It's not an American cheese, it's real cheese, instead of that American-style cheese that is so common with American burgers. The bun is nice, as you can see here. The meat itself, let's open this up here. The bun is broken apart here. But you can actually see here, let's open this here, that you get this little chunk of meat. Now, this is not pure beef. It is mostly beef. Let me look at that. I believe it's, let's see what percentage of beef this is. It's 82% beef. We just don't know what grade that is, etc. As I said, unfortunately, ground beef in Europe, or Germany in particular, when prepared like this, doesn't taste good. They don't really have a good hamburger flavor for some strange reason. The ingredients seem to be fairly quality, but you just don't get that flavor. In general, beef in Europe doesn't have the same kind of flavor that you tend to get in the United States. So, it's a little odd. I'm not really sure, but these prepared ones, there's other prepared burgers as well, and they're all pretty bad. This tends to be, even the fact that it's so cheap, it tends to be one of the better tasting ones, which is quite interesting. But again, you're not getting good stuff. You're better off grabbing, if you're going to grab something, and you can, but it depends on where you are and where you're located, particularly in places like Germany. The minute you get out of the big cities, you're not going to find too many fast food stores and stuff that sell hot food. There's a lot of bakeries that sell sandwiches and other things. which are all pretty good, but finding burger places, and of course the burger places are kept out of most of the non-large cities. They don't want these franchises coming in and taking the business away from the locals, which is good and bad. Certainly, the bakeries, which serve as fast food places where you get so much from, do make excellent sandwiches, but most of them are cold. So it really depends on where you are, what place you have. As I said, you get your usual little ketchup package here, and as I said, they look great. They just don't taste very good. And these, as I said, is a quick snack that you want to grab going into one of these stores. I'm assuming they have very similar items like this in Lidl and Trader Joe's and other places, in Aldi's and whatever other stores are there in the United States. I'm assuming that's it. But, if you go to the dollar menu at McDonald's or other places, you're going to get a much better burger. They just can't copy burgers well, even though it appears that all the accoutrements on here, the cheese, the meat, and everything else, seem to be a good quality. They just don't taste good. And the fancier burgers, they even have kind of copies of Big Macs, taste even worse. And as I've mentioned, you can get these in 3 styles. You can get it in pork, you can get it in chicken, and you can get it in beef here, and you can also get it as a cheeseburger. So there may be even 4 there. So I'm going to heat this up and show you what it looks like heated. Now, one of the tricks to making these taste better, but if you're going to go through that, you might as well make your own. That's what I do now. I buy my own ground beef, and what I do is I put I toast the bun, I put my own tomatoes and onions on it, and this gives it a fantastic, better flavor. Still not great, but if you want to do that. But if you're going to do that, and as I said, make your own burger meats, get your own buns, put them together. It only takes a couple of minutes, and you're going to get yourself a much better product. But these certainly are something that is grabbed by people in stores. I don't know if they don't heat them up or they zap them somewhere, but this certainly is one of those fasty type foods. So let me pause here for a minute, and then I'll come back with the actual heated item. Okay, so here's the heated actual sandwich here. Kind of fell apart while the heating process, and these are a little difficult to heat through and through. Let's give you the actual ingredients here, a close-up look at that for those that are interested in what's in this type of stuff. And this is your typical ingredients here, and it goes in what's in the bun. It goes into the other aspects of it. This is all part of a very typical label you would get in Europe. So, and you can see here it says 82% Rindfleisch, and that means beef. So this is all part of what the is there. There's and it shows what's in the bun, what's added. So there is approximately, so you're talking about 18% added to the meat, giving it some sort of different flavor. So it's hard to say. As I said, it appears that the meat quality is fairly okay. It don't taste good, though, usually. So I'm not sure why that is. And as I said, I've given up eating these things, except if you want to grab something. As I said, when if you add your own lettuce and tomatoes to it, put some extra ketchup on it and other things, you can make these taste a lot better. But, if you're going to do that, you might as well do it from the start. So let's taste this yet again and see what kind of a flavor these have. All I've done is put ketchup on it. The cheese is there. It's melted. And you got to remember that, these are €1 each or $1.25. You can see how it is there. As I said, there are many different prepared burgers you can get at different times. So-called bigger ones, fancier ones, etc. And these tend to be the best of the group. And again, look what you're getting. So, while big companies like McDonald's and others may have a €1 menu, and the taste is a lot better, that would be something you want to pop in and particularly get. But, for getting something like this, and you have these at all the local markets, so you can just jump in and grab these. They do need to be heated. If you try and eat these that are not heated, they really taste bad. The cold meat and it not being actually warmed makes the whole even worse flavor. But, like everything else in life, you have to judge things by price, convenience, and everything else. Certainly, there's a lot better foods out there. But for $2, this is not a bad sandwich. And, of course, it's one of the few things that is available hot. As I've mentioned, particularly in Germany, there isn't a lot of hot foods. People eat a lot of cold cuts. They eat a lot of cold sandwiches. I have no idea why this is, because it's a generally cool country. Yet people don't want to be bothered heating things up. Don't quite understand that. Take one more bite of this. Again, it's got your typical hamburger bun, your American style, which is a particular type of bread. I believe it's called cake bread. So it's not your typical sandwich or roll bread. And so it is that, quote, American style. Even though they're not using American cheese on here, they're using, I'm not sure what type of cheese that is on there as well. But, as I said, these are available probably all over the world like this. These are standard foods that everybody grabs and eats, from Finland to the UK to the United States. You're going to find this kind of a particular burger there. So how do you rate something like this? Well, as the burgers go, this is one of the better ones for the cost. I will be going over other burgers, and they are not very good at all. This is okay. Put some of your own toppings on it, toast the bun, and you'll have something that is very edible.